Oh, what a beautiful day it is. It's Jessica Northey here. But I just am looking at these two beautiful people. And I feel like I should sing that Marilyn Manson song, The Beautiful People, The Beautiful People. It's a TGIF kind of day. And I'm feeling it because it's our 3-year birthday for Country Music Chat. That's CMchat on Twitter and Twangout on Google+. And wow, what a day. Jennifer Swirsky, she did this to us. And I'm thanking her for every minute of every day. We have with us two-story Radical Road. And that's Jen's going to introduce the Radicals. But that's a two-story rad could be the fan club. But go ahead, Jen.
Okay, this is Jamie and Brandon. They are a married couple who are collectively known as Two Story Road. They met when they were students at Belmont University. Brandon graduated a few years before Jamie and headed out on the road with Gretchen Wilson and Danny Goki. And Jamie was offered a position as a backup vocalist for Carrie Underwood. After spending several years apart, they decided to merge their roads together, hence Two Story Road. And they're now in the process of writing and recording.
And without further ado, Jamie and Brandon.
Aww.
We need sound effects that go into the Google. Where are you guys, and what are you wearing?
I am wearing
a lovely blue T-shirt.
This, I think, by I just call him Banana. His full name is Banana Republic, but we're on such good terms. I just call him Banana. So I'm wearing one of Banana's shirts. We're in our home studio in just outside of Nashville, Tennessee, what we call home. So.
Happy to be here.
Yes.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
And happy birthday!
Yeah.
Happy birthday!
Before we do anything else, we want to do this. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, CMchat. Happy birthday to you.
Okay, now you guys made me cry again. Aw, that was really special. Thank you.
Seriously, 3 years, that's like kind of a big deal. And
it's amazing.
Yeah. And you
it's like an eternity in the tech world.
Yeah, but y'all have grown this into like, it's like an empire. Like, y'all should change it to CMchat Empire next year because it's about that right now.
I like that. No, you know, it is just cool because I get to meet people like you guys, and your stories become part of my story, and it's just really cool. Thank you for that. That was really special. Aww. I'm trying to stop crying. Sorry.
I didn't cry.
No, I love you guys. You guys are so sweet, and it's a cool story, and that's what CMchat's about, country music chat and talking to people who are breaking out and starting into the industry or have been in the industry, bringing their stories together, that two-story radicalness.
That was seriously, when I saw that first little graphic splash and we saw two-story rad, I was like, I kind of want to correct it, but I kind of don't because,
I leave it.
I mean, two-story rad, I mean, yeah, I was like, we need to talk with management, call Mark Wright and say, is it too late in the game to change, like, the entire name and branding and the whole thing? And,
at least it was rad and not rod.
You know, it's like, I mean, it's a cool name. It'll give us one extra letter every time we tweet something, you know, because it'll take a
well, it's way better than what we usually get.
Oh, yeah, you should see some of the typos. Like, we've gotten Toy Story Road.
We always get Toy Story Road.
Which is great because I love the movie, but again, it's like, well, we're not doing music for small kids.
And another thing that happens all the time is two-story toad.
Because the R is right over there by that T.
Two-story toad. And people have told us that we should have like a little toad that we carry around with us.
Just because
two-story toad.
We get that many toads, it's like, you know what, and on our first tour bus with the bus driver, we should just put a little toad up there. Just
like a flat Stanley, you know, like in the window, the little toad goes with us everywhere we go.
People know a mile away, hey, there's two-story toad.
Or the toad family, the toad road.
Yeah. We'd always have to
You're toadical. There you go. You know what? Your fan club, the Toads.
The Toads. Yeah.
We're coming. Do you have a name for your fan club yet?
Well,
you know, they've actually kind of, our fans have kind of named themselves the Roadies.
Oh, that's cute.
How great is that?
Kind of.
You know, because roadies go everywhere you go, and it's like, well, that kind of worked out.
But of course, we have the original roadie.
Yeah, we have our original.
Taking a nap right here.
our little dog. She's our very first
roadie because we got right when we were starting.
Yeah. So, which was actually a very funny story. We had a dog a while ago, but she passed away. She was like 9 or 10, and so we always wanted to get another dog, but we were touring so much. It's like, hey, we're not going to get a dog until we come off the road. And so once we realized we were going to be doing our own thing, we knew we were going to get another dog. And one night we're watching TV, and Jamie goes, "By the way, when we get a dog, I have the name picked out." And for those of you that have dogs and don't have kids, it's like your dog is your child, and it's like you're basically saying you're going to name our child without talking to me. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm sure you do," very sarcastically, meaning I'm going to shoot down whatever you say just because you think you're that confident.
And I was like, "No, you won't. No, you won't. You'll like it."
And I was like, and so I was like, "All right, lay it on me." Totally ready to just be like, "Veto, no, that's out." And she goes, "We're going to call the roadie." And I was like, "You're right." And I went back to watching TV. It was like, yes.
Told you.
Another moment of brilliance from my wife. So, but,
it's a perfect dog name.
Yeah. And 4 months later, we found her, and she was already named.
Isn't that funny, you guys, you men?
Yeah. Aren't they funny?
We don't. I mean, I know we think we know everything all the time, and I mean, it's only most of the time, but there are some times.
No, it's not most of the time. It's only sometimes that you're right.
So,
not most of the time.
But
sorry.
Yeah. So
you guys need your own reality show. Tell Steve you need to get you a reality show.
I will tell him. I'm like videoing all this, and I'm going to play it back, and I'm just going to make that a GIF. Tell Steve you need a reality show. And I'm going to make him watch that over and over.
No, just say we need a reality show because I think you guys are really fascinating to watch. But I think that either Tim, Scott, or Jen has a question for you.
Yes.
I'll start us off. Being a married couple, does that bring a special, unique chemistry to the process when you're creating music?
No, not at all. I'm kidding.
I was going to say, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's probably harder than it would be to do it by ourselves.
It is, but at the same time, I think there's more of a reward, not to sound sappy, but it's like, when you see something or you're doing something really cool, the first thing you think of is, if you're by yourself, is, oh my gosh, I wish so-and-so was here to see this or to see this movie. And so there are more challenges because we have, we know each other's buttons, and we know how to, like, not that we ever hit those buttons, but we know how to really annoy each other. And so during the creative process, like when we're writing together, whether we're writing by ourselves or with someone else, it's like we both know, like, okay, if I throw out a lyric that Jamie doesn't like, she can shoot it down 2 different ways. She can shoot it down in a way that I'm going to be like, well, what do you know? Or she can shoot it down in a way that says, let's talk about it, discuss it. No, but I'm sure you'll have something better just around the corner. You know what I mean? So, and it's always fun because we're married, we always bring our work home with us. So, we hash it out, and so we've learned not to take ourselves too seriously, and I think we can not, take things too personally when we're wearing the 2-story rad hats. I mean, road. See, it's already sticking.
Oh my goodness, that is hilarious.
But,
we bicker a lot. We pick on each other a lot, but I think that kind of makes it funny sometimes. People just kind of like laugh at our stupid little bickering on our stage shows and stuff like that we do and things like this. And on stage, we've been known to pick on each other quite a bit on stage too.
Yeah, it's great because it's like every time we perform, Jamie's always like, all right, what are we going to say between this song and this song? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm sure you'll probably make fun of me taking too long to tune my guitar. And it's true. It's like whenever there's a dull moment, she'll just give me a look, and I'll be like, I'm sure everyone in this room has seen a girl given that look before. I am in so much trouble. And it's just, I don't know, we kind of have this natural kind of thing that comes out of us. And it wasn't until we started doing a few shows that people started laughing, and I was like, so the whole me and you kind of for real bickering, that kind of works. So we always have that to fall back on. And
so keep it up.
Yeah. So
I think you next year be a comedians. Let me see. That was Tim who jumped in. Scott, we haven't heard from you. Scott Colvin, jump in, Sneezy.
Yes, hello. Happy birthday. CMchat.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say that. Anyway, my question: what are the biggest challenges you face as an up-and-coming country act?
Biggest challenges that we face in becoming an up-and-coming country act? I think that's what the question was.
Yeah.
probably is there is a large amount of talent.
So much talent.
Oh my gosh, like especially in Nashville, it's just
Insane.
like, you think you're having a good day, you think you wrote a great song, and then you go to some Writers Round Summit, and it's like, okay, so that song sucked today that we wrote because that was amazing. But I think the one thing we've learned is just, and I think, and to be honest, like our fans encourage us more than they know, is you can't give up because there's that whole thing of being at the right place at the right time, and unfortunately, it's not just about the most talented gets to cross the finish line. I mean, a lot of it is making sure that we have great relationships with people in town, and that we try to work as hard as we can to get our name out there and our songs out there, and we have really, really good days and good weeks where like, man, we are on fire, and then there's some weeks where it's like I'm like constantly picking up the phone just to make sure there's dial tone because it hasn't rung in a while, and it's like, okay, our phone is working. Okay.
That's the opposite of fire. Sometimes we're the opposite of fire, whatever that is.
Yeah, but you have to look at things. Sometimes you have to force yourself to take a few steps back and look at things as the whole. Like, okay, maybe this week sucks, but let's look at the last 3 months, and it's like, okay, yeah, the last 3 months has been pretty incredible. So I think you have to acknowledge that there are people out there that is just as good as you are, but you can't let that stop you from wanting to go after your dream, which is at the end of the day, it's so cliche to say that. That's what we're doing. We're going after our dream, and what was the thing somebody said the other day? Like if it was easy, everybody would be doing it.
Of course.
So
it's not easy.
It's not
hard.
easy. It is hard.
A lot of challenges. It's a lot of luck. It's a lot of friendships. It's a lot of timing involved, and it's a combination of everything.
Yeah, I mean, I think one advantage that we have is because we've been able to tour in the past few years with Danny and Carrie and Gretchen, and we've had literally a front row seat to see how hard it is. And I think the cool thing for us is that we know how hard it is going to be to get to that point, but we've seen how hard, like, to see Carrie work as hard as she does day in and day out, and a lot of people would think, gosh, she's so huge, she probably could just put on the old cruise and be on autopilot. And she works hard every day, and it's like, we've gotten some pretty great examples set for us, that is for sure. So we're ready for the work.
I love listening to you guys talk. You're so adorable. Scott Brennan, Scotty B, the one that called you the Brad. Story Brad.
My favorite.
Story Brad. He's your new
Adding you to our graphic design team. Let's see what else you can do with our name.
What happens when you're up at 3 in the morning with Jess on the phone?
I know, it's my fault. It's always my fault. I just gotta say, it's always my fault.
But I want to know, I've been listening to some of your guys' work since Jen introduced us. When are we going to be able to hear more?
That is the question that I'm sure all the fans are wondering too. We are, we worked really hard last year on just getting our name out there, letting people know who we were, kind of our story, if you will.
Putting out a couple demos on our website.
Yeah, because we've got a studio here in the house. We're able to record all of our own demos. So everything that's on all of the websites. I mean, there's music on Facebook. There's music on the CMT artist page, website. All those are recorded here in house. And when we finish a demo, we send it to Mark Bright. We send it to our management company, and they say, sounds good for the website. Put it up there. Change this. Change this. But the last 7 or 8 months, we have been gearing up towards recording our first project. So we have been focused on songwriting. We have been writing with some just ridiculously talented songwriters. I mean, Chris Dubois, Dan Couch, Jason Matthews. I mean, all these guys. It's like
number one
hits,
yeah,
and so we've been kind of
singles.
Building our stockpile of songs because you always want to have more songs to choose from than what you need. So I think we've probably got 60 or 70 songs now that we're ready to choose from,
and things are really rolling right now in a good direction. And if it keeps going right the way it's headed right now, then we're really optimistic that the music will be coming very soon.
Very, very soon. Right now we're focusing on gearing up for CMA, CMA Week, CMA Fest. We've got fan party and stuff like that. But we've been the last few stage it shows that we've done. We've been debuting a lot of new songs, and we finally told our fans, like, I'm sure you guys can put two and two together. Why do artists go into crazy songwriting mode? Because they're getting ready to put together an album, and that's exactly what we're doing. So we've been trying to be good about keeping new songs coming up either on Stage It or website playlists, so that way fans can feel like there are things moving forward. But obviously, you're going to save the best songs for the initial launch of the album. So
yeah, there's still a few they haven't heard yet.
They haven't even heard yet, and I'm like, wait till they hear this one. But you know, we want our fans to be able to see our record and be like, oh, I've heard all these before. I mean, there needs to be some stuff on there that's like, oh, I can't wait to hear new
Surprise!
stuff. So it's a very fine balance of keeping our fans entertained and keeping new music coming at them without showing them all of the aces up our sleeve. So I hope that, I know that's not the answer anybody wants. They want to know a date.
We don't have a date.
We don't have a date. But
that's how the industry works. Hurry up and wait.
Exactly.
Exactly. So, and obviously, we were watching some of Whitney Duncan's Twangout earlier, which were a huge hit. She actually wrote one of the songs that
we sing
all the time.
Yeah, When You Look at Me.
When You Look at Me.
That's a Whitney.
So thank you, Whitney.
It's a Whitney song.
But there's so much more of like a marketing campaign and timing and publicity. All that goes into putting out the record, and it's a pretty big launch and a lot of moving pieces. And
yeah, she explained it really well. She said we can just write and release music all day, but unfortunately, there's a lot more to it than that. Yeah. So that's what we're going through.
We're actually, it was so cool to see your lineup today, because I mean, like, I think I saw Brandon Chase on the lineup, which we're great. We hang out with him every time he comes to Nashville.
We have mutual besties with him.
Meghan Linsey, I can't tell you how many shows we did with Steel Magnolia when I was out on Danny Goki, and Meghan Linsey is just a rock star, and everybody knows it. So I'm sure you guys have had a great day. Cause,
Sarah Darling, right?
We did a show with her last year.
We love her. You guys had quite a lineup today.
So,
awesome.
So I mean, all that talent we just listed, you can't be, intimidated by that talent. You just become friends with the talent, and hopefully they rub off on you. So.
Well said.
Am I rubbing off on you?
Yeah, right now.
Finally rubbing off on you.
Hopefully they rub off on you. Two-story rub.
That's our
whole new direction.
That's our mission statement.
Anybody who's watching this, is there like a little bit of a staticky something on it? Am I the only one that hears that?
No, I hear it.
I hear it a little bit too.
You hear it like a little staticky?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't matter. I'm just so happy to have you guys here. Jen, back to you. Back to Twitter. I know there's some Twitter questions. I got to go catch them. But Jen, would you like to ask a question? And I'm losing my battery. Oh, no.
I would. You guys do Stage It, and you do a lot of Stage It shows, but I know you're doing a lot recently because you are doing it for City of Hope. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing with City of Hope?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, we're competing to hopefully, potentially win a spot in the.
I wish I had more fingers to cross.
In the celebrity softball game that's happening next month, June 7th, I think, during CMA week.
Yeah, City of Hope sponsors that softball game, and we found out not too long ago that they did a contest where they partnered with Stage It.
Which we do Stage It shows all the time
it's
anyway.
Like we already do that.
So they said if we did a couple to raise money specifically for City of Hope, we could win a spot in the softball game.
So the top two artists that raise the most amount of money get a spot in the softball game. So we've already done a couple, and we have, because the contest ends next week. So we have one on Tuesday, and we just look for excuses to do Stage It shows because we have so much fun interacting with our fans.
We really do. It's
and
so fun.
we're not trying to like bleed our fans of money. We literally, I mean, we like, for example, Tuesday show, you can get in for 10 cents. Like, name your own price. We don't care. Pay a dime. If you don't like it, send us your mailing address. I'll send you a dime back if you don't enjoy it. We just like to hang out with our fans, seriously. And if you want to, if we had a good note, or if we play a good song, you can tip during the show. But
no pressure. We don't.
No, but seriously, pay a dime and just enjoy the 10-cent show. That's totally fine. Just come hang out with us. But it's on Tuesday at 7:30 Central Time, Nashville time. And
all proceeds go to City of Hope?
Everything goes to City of Hope, and we'll see if we win a spot in the softball game. So we're kind of excited. But win or lose, like, City of Hope is so amazing, and we were excited to be able to help them out and raise some money for them.
What time on Tuesday?
7:30 Nashville
Central.
time. Yeah.
So
5:30 West Coast time, yeah.
Okay.
And if we could, we would like send out dimes to everybody so they can come watch our show and say, that's all you got to pay. Here's a dime on me, just watch the show.
Well, for the City of Hope one?
I'll give anybody a hitchhiker ride if they want to go to the show.
Oh, that's
you're
so
awesome.
You're
awesome.
That's amazing.
Guys, if you're watching, check out Twitter. I just blasted out the link to Sage It also.
Oh, thanks.
Very good. Thank you.
Thanks for that.
Do you have the thing, okay, so Jen did that. Okay, wait. One more question. We have lots of questions, but let's stay in this group right now. Tim.
I talk to him.
Yes, you talk to me.
No, you don't. Talk more. I like listening to you. You're very eloquent. You could be a politician. In a good way, but not a icky politician, like a good politician.
Story rad for office. Just a giant rad. Just R-A-D. And they'll know. They'll know who that is. Like there's a guy in Nashville running for something, and his last name is Funk. That's all he puts in the sign. Funk. F-U-N-K. And you know who that is. Rad. We could be the first. We could be the first one-name politician. You know, like you have Beyonce and all this Madonna. Rad for office. That's all it is. One name. That's it.
I will gladly manage that campaign.
I didn't know I would change your guys' life with a typo.
Who doesn't want to slice a rat in the office, right? I mean, fantastic.
I think there's another question.
Did you have a question?
Yeah. As a duo, you're part of the big trend of country music over the last few years. Duos are really a big thing. But amongst that, what are the things that you try to do to really stand out amongst all the other duos?
You know, you do that because that looks you like perplexing. I have an answer.
Good. You always have an answer.
I think that one thing that we try to do really hard. I'm not saying the other duos don't, but we try to be really creative on the vocal arranging. If you listen to our music, there's songs where we're harmonizing the whole time, which is more of a standard thing. There's songs that she sings the entire song, and I'm just her background vocalist holding her bottle of water in the back when she's thirsty. And then there's also songs where we flip, where I sing lead the entire song, and she's just my background vocalist. Mm-hmm. And there's songs where I'll sing lead for the first half of the song, and then she'll sing lead for the second half, because neither one of us wants to give up the spotlight, so we just agreed we'll split it.
We try to share it as much as possible. We sing unison a lot, which is, I feel like is something that a lot of other duos don't do as often.
Both of us are on the exact same note for like.
Because he can sing like a girl. I don't know if anybody's noticed that.
There's other ways of wording that.
He can sing really high. Is that better?
You're a soprano.
He can be a soprano if he has to. So sometimes I'm like going for this big high note, and we'll be in the studio, and he'll be like, I kind of want to sing that with you and see what it sounds like. And so, you know, that's what we'll end up doing, just so he can have a moment of showing off.
Yeah. So, I'm still like, we're going to talk about that answer when the camera goes off. We're going to talk about the whole. But no, I think that's one thing that's really cool, because I think as an audience, it makes it more entertaining for them, because there are songs where,
there's songs I sing below him, the harmony part below him, and he's above me, and then we flip it.
And we flip it, and it's cool to have a couple of songs where she just sings lead the whole time, and I'm her background vocalist, because it gives me a break. If I'm like, vocally, we can kind of lean in each other. So.
So that's what we
vocal arranging. If you were just looking for 2 words, I should have said vocal arrangement, and then you could have Googled that or Wikipedia'd it. But
you explained it way better though than Google would explain it. So.
You guys are so funny. Okay, so there was Twitter and Facebook any questions, and I can't find them now because my stuff is so slow right now. I am sorry. I blame my internet provider. I'll give you their name on Twitter, and you guys can tweet at them and tell them speed up Jessica's internet. But we are gonna have to wrap up a little bit, but without wrapping up too much, we always ask everybody, what would you want anyone who's watching this, and even us, to leave here thinking about you and knowing about you?
That is a great question. I would say that we like to have a lot of fun. We try to. I think one thing we strive to do is try to engage our audience when we're performing and when we're not performing. We tend to talk too much in between songs because we like talking to our audience. Like on stage, seriously,
We do.
But it's. I mean, I like to know who's watching. I like to know who's out there.
So we spend half the time reading the comments on stage.
Our meet and greets after concerts take way
yeah.
too long because it's not just a picture and a hug. It's like we like to know who they are. And
Where they
even last year at CMA Fest, when we were walking around the streets, walking from concert to concert, watching other people perform, when we see our fans, between the two of us, we could usually figure out what that fan's name was or what their Twitter name was, because we really do, like,
we read all the tweets.
We read all the tweets. You can ask some of our fans. We go in and we scroll through their tweets, and they'll say something about us very nice without tagging us, and we'll favorite it. And then, of course, unfortunately, they say that we're creeping their Twitter accounts, but
creeping our Twitter accounts.
But I think because we've been 10 feet away from the center mic with people like Carrie and Danny and Gretchen, we've been this close to our dream for so long, and we've had the extreme pleasure of seeing them interact with our fans, to have our own fan base now, to walk out on stage and hear our name called, and to hear people scream and sing along our songs. It's like I don't want to say that we value our fans any more than anybody else, but we value the heck out of our fans.
Yeah.
Because we would not be here if it wasn't for them. If it wasn't for the followers and the likes on Facebook, nobody would come to our stage shows. Nobody. I mean, we were 4 months old last year, and we sold out our fan party in 45 minutes. And, like, we were both almost in tears. Like, holy crap. We don't even have a fan club yet. We just announced we have a fan party, and it sold out. 100 people signed up like that. And
wow.
So we really try to. We want our fans to know how much we appreciate their support.
Definitely.
Like that.
We're not going to take any of this for granted. We're not going to mess this up.
No.
That's our thing.
We'll be the artists that are standing out in line signing autographs afterwards until everybody's gone. I saw Kenny Chesney do that when we were touring with him. Blew my mind. He was out there for hours, and I thought, that's the kind of artist that I want to be if I ever get a shot.
He's good people. You guys are good people. I am absolutely impressed with you guys, and we'll all come visit your stage on Tuesday. Promise.
Awesome.
And support it.
Yeah.
And Jen and Scott and all of us. Let's make sure, because I'm actually I'm doing something for that City of Hope Celebrity Softball Tournament too. So and I told them I would help with some of those. So I'll help you guys.
Awesome. Well, hopefully we'll see you there, and we'll knock one out of the park for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's get this for you. I forgot what they told me is like the average or whatever most people, but I'm sure we can get that for you guys in a day or two. Like, get people to do it. You got these people in here that love you, so we'll rock it.
Awesome. Thank you all so much for supporting.
Take it like a Polaroid picture.
Heyo.
Ooh, and then okay, burning desires. Anybody got a burning want to ask a question before we go? What did we not get to?
Burning desire.
I guess maybe a good question is, you guys have been out on the road with several different artists. What kind of advice have you gotten that's helped shape you into the artist you are today?
Work hard, and what was the third one? Work really hard. Yeah. Yeah, and it's what we talked about a little earlier, but I mean, seeing. I mean, when I was out with Gretchen Wilson and she was like killing it, like she worked so hard, and because we've not only the artists that we've toured with, but other bands come out and tour with them. So like Lady A, Little Big Town, Keith Urban. I mean, we're around people all the time in these tours, and it's like, you don't realize till you see them in person, because you think, oh, they've sold millions of records and they can just show up and everything's great, and they work their tails off. And
Hunter Hayes.
Yeah.
He's one of my buddies. I adore him, but he never takes a day off.
Never.
Ever.
Never.
Never. He'll go do sound check, and then he'll go straight back to his bus and record.
And he'll go learn how to play a new instrument.
Yeah.
Wait, no, he just does that in his sleep. He's like, I want to play the Waka Maka Chocolate, and he's like all, and then
Yeah,
he
he's
gets it up and
running.
he's
No,
playing it.
I mean, like one of these, he's gonna be the Ricola. He's gonna have one of the giant.
Didgeridoo.
You know, he's gonna kill the didgeridoo. One of these times, he's gonna show up and he's gonna rock a didgeridoo solo. Just
Oh,
because-
I know. That guy is like a monster. Yeah. Well, and you guys are amazing too. So I will wrap this up because up next we have Audra, and my God, what a big day! And thank you, Two Story Road. You're rad, and you're road.
Thank you, Jen,
amazing.
Jessica. Scott, Tim, all you guys. Seriously.
We're so honored to be here.
Yeah.
We love you.
We love you guys so much.
Thanks.
We love you this much. And my dog didn't come back.
We need a widescreen so you can see how wide our arms are. Seriously.
I know. Oh, give them a little quick before we get off. Let them see your little studio.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, we're in the little
Just
studio
like-
here.
We record
I like what you did. I like the way you've done it.
So that's where we work, right there. That's where we sing.
Your big old organ over there, your B3.
The B3 organ and keyboards and guitars, and
Yep.
it's fun.
Where we spend most of our time.
Yep. Our home
Where is this at that you live at in Nashville? What part?
Franklin. We're in Franklin now.
Oh, when we come to Nashville sometime, oops, I accidentally clicked my thing and my phone was talking. Either that or I called somebody for a few minutes. Well, whoever I just called, I'm sorry, I wasn't being weird, because they would only hear me talking and not you. But when we come,
someone just got a butt dial in there, a conversation that's awesome. Like, hey, I'm getting an inside look at Two Story Road through her pants pocket.
I know, it's all wicked. But when we come to Nashville, one of these times we'll have to come over to your house and just to hang out with you and do music night.
Oh my gosh.
I'm super talented. Like, I'm really good. Like, your dog will love me.
We will.
We should be a trio.
Then you could be Two-Story Rad.
Dude, that would be Two-Story Rad.
Actually, if I'm in it, it's going to be more like it's going to be Two-Story Tragedy. Because, like, I can't sing, but I love to sing.
Oh, that's so funny.
And we could do a quick stage it show with you here, and we could create a Twitter account called 3-Story Rad and see how many followers we pick up in a day. You know, I mean, when Pharrell had his hat, he made a Twitter account on the Grammys. So we can see if we can beat Pharrell's hat with 3-Story Rad featuring Jessica Northey and CMchat.
I don't think people are going to want to have any of that. Like, I think that's going to be one of those things where they're like, oh, holy hell, that needs to be banned from the interwebs. No way. She should never. I'm like that. No. I'm like that guy on Ricky Martin on, remember the Living La Vida Loca guy? I'm like him.
Oh, yeah, Ricky Martin. Yeah.
The one dude?
William Hung.
Yeah. I'm right around there. He might be a little better than me.
He sold some albums. He sold some albums. I gotta hand it to him.
He did.
People bought that.
Sometimes they do.
He sold a lot of albums, I think, actually.
You know guess what, Jen? I'm looking for a website. I'm looking for a domain name. I'm getting an idea. I love you guys. You're awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Wave at the camera. Yay.